I forgot to do that. So now I'm going to get an overdue shipment. I am top rated. Shouldn't hurt me too bad, but those are things you definitely don't want to do as a reseller, is be consistently late on your... Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, Otnick Drop Flips. My name's Richard. I'm a part-time reseller on eBay where I go to garage sales, thrift stores, occasionally retail arbitrage. I take those undervalued items and I sell them on eBay for a profit. Today's video is going to be a what sold video. Did have some pretty good items go out and some smaller ones as well. Thing about picking items, you always got to think about your return on investment. A lot of stuff I got very cheap, didn't sell for a lot, but the return on investment is really good, and those smaller items do add up. As you can see, I'm not in Missouri, where I'm normally from. I'm actually in Nevada visiting family. As you can see, didn't get a chance to film the opening and closing of this video, so I'll be doing it from here. So let's jump into the eBay store and see what's sold. Well, we're back in the eBay store. Normally I don't ship on Thursdays, but I had a buyer reach out to me this morning and asked if the cleats that they ordered would get to them by Saturday. I said, I'll go ahead and ship it today. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull that order, and we have another one. So first thing we have going out is the Nike Tempo Rio 2 FG studs, green strike, black soccer cleats. These are size 8. So I didn't even get these into inventory yet. They're sitting right here. So it's these ones right here. I'm into these for $3 at one of the local thrift stores here in town. Okay, before I get started, as you can see, I got some other shoes back here. I was actually getting ready to do some listings when the buyer reached out to me. So these here sold for $24.32, and the buyer is paying $8.30 in shipping. Now these will definitely ship out priority, and hoping to get to the buyer by Saturday. But again, you don't make any promises because we can't really control the mail system. But these are going to Oklahoma, so shipping them out priority. They should possibly get them tomorrow, maybe Saturday. Now, the last thing we have going out today, I don't have to ship it till tomorrow, but since I'm packing, I might as well go ahead and get this one shipped out as well. This is the Highlander, the Complete Series, 6 seasons. Now, I have sold this set before. I'd picked one up at a garage sale, I believe, 2 years ago, and that was brand new sealed. That brought some really good money. I'd bought this at a garage sale prior to me finding that one, and this is used, but I wanted to watch the Complete Series, so that's what I did. And I've been sitting on it, and I'm all like, I need to get that listed. I got it listed maybe about a week ago, and now this is sold. And this is also right down here. And it's going to be all 6 of these. So let's set these up here. So it's all 6 of these. Paid $20 at a garage sale. These sold for $57.38, and the buyer is paying $9.32 in shipping. If I can remember, I'll throw a link to that video right up here. You guys are going to be here tomorrow, aren't you? Yeah, I'll probably come back tomorrow. You'll probably have more stuff set out.
Yeah, we will.
Okay. We fit 20 on that and 4 each on these, so that's 28.
28, yeah. 20 goes to her and 8 goes to me. Thank you.
There you go. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Well, I see you tomorrow.
All right, see you tomorrow.
Oh, I got them. Thanks, though. Probably tomorrow, if there's a lot more out here, I'll probably get a lot more stuff.
Okay.
Today, we just got 2 items going out. Pretty small items, so let's go ahead and get started. First thing is we have Walking Dead, Warning Zombie Crossing, and I put Caution Halloween Party Prop Decor. Got this for free at one of the local thrift stores. This is in T3. So that should be right over here. It's going to be very small. It's probably going to be hard to find. Nearly impossible. It says it's in T3. I can see it. All right, let me set the camera down. Okay, located. It's not in T3. It's actually in T2. So I must have did a typo. So, didn't sell for much. Got it for free. This sold for $257, and the buyer is paying $525 in shipping. Last thing is we got a Taylor Swift magazine going out. So, see if we can locate it here. And actually, I think I've seen it down over here. Okay, no, it's right up here. As you know, I get magazines for free at the thrift store. This sold for $595, and the buyer is paying $413 in shipping. Today's Tuesday. We have 5 orders going out, and I'm already behind. It's noon, and I'm running late, so let's get started. First thing is buyer came in and bought 2 of the Sports Illustrated. Problem is, I gave one away to a buyer that was having problems trying to order 2 of them, and I forgot to adjust the quantity. So I reached out to the buyer. They didn't respond back. I told them I'd refund them for one of the magazines plus a partial of the shipping, or I could cancel the order. They didn't respond, so I've got to ship this out today. This sold for $1101. And the buyer is paying $645 in shipping. Next thing going out, it's a Yeti Rambler 30 ounce stainless steel tumbler. Has flag and skull on it. And it's not in inventory. Oops. It's not in inventory, so it's got to be over here somewhere. And I see it right down here. Yeah, this is how far behind I am. I haven't even gotten this stuff into inventory. So, it's this right here. Picked this up at a local thrift store. I'm into it for $1. This sold for $26.31, and the buyer is paying $10.80 in shipping. Next item, obviously a thrift store item, because that's pretty much where I go. This is in U2, and that, oh, it's this right here. Let's see if we can get it out of here. It's this button holder. It is vintage. Paid 50 cents at one of the local thrift stores here in town. This sold for $9.31, and the buyer is paying $10.80 in shipping. Next item I've had for a while. This is a Monsters Inc. James P. Sullivan Sully Disney Store. It's a 16-inch authentic plush toy. And that's going to be right here on top. Nope, not that guy. This guy right here. Probably paid up for this, probably too much, but I'm into it for $5. This sold for $17.81, and the buyer is paying $8.60 in shipping. And the last thing we have going out today, it's vintage Anchor Hawking Royal Ruby Red glass tea. I also put punch cups, set of 8. This is on shelf 7. So, oh, it's going to be right back here. So it's 8 of these. I picked this up on a high bid lot, and it was so long ago I don't even remember what I paid for it, but I don't imagine I'm into these for more than a couple bucks. 8 of these sold for $23.76, and the buyer is paying $12.30 in shipping. Hey everybody, back in the eBay store. We got 3 orders going out today. One of the items is late. I was supposed to print a label last night and anticipating getting it shipped out today. I forgot to do that. So now I'm going to get an overdue shipment. I am top rated. Shouldn't hurt me too bad, but those are things you definitely don't want to do as a reseller, is be consistently late on your packages. So let's get started. So the one item that's late that's going out is a 2-piece salt and pepper shaker, Johnson Haviland Forever Spring, and it is from Bavaria, Germany. That's going to be, said it was going to be on shelf 7, but I know I moved it and I put it actually on shelf 11, which is going to be right back there in that box. So let's move this out of the way. So it's these 2 right here. Have had this for a while, but I believe I picked up the entire set on a high bid haul probably 2-3 years ago. We've sold a lot of the dishes off and made our money back, and we're well into the profit. So as you've seen in the box, we just have a few left. And this is the salt and pepper shaker. These sold for $11.53, and the buyer is paying $8.70 in shipping. Next item going out is one of the free magazines. This is the 85th anniversary special, The Ultimate Guide to Superman. So that's going to be right over here. Should be up on the shelf here. You can see I've changed that the way I try to do my magazines, make it a lot easier to be able to find them. I believe it's this one right here. This sold for $6.95, and the buyer is paying $4.13 in shipping. And the last item we have going out, this is an RA item. This is the Disney Frozen 2 Edition Monopoly board game, and I put by Hasbro. Now, I believe I'm probably into these for maybe a couple bucks. I didn't put it down. It's going to be right up here, I believe. Let's pull one of these out and make sure. Okay, so there it is, $3.90 is what I paid for these. This sold for $18.95, and it is going free shipping. This is one of the ones I probably never changed. I don't do free shipping anymore. Today we've got 2 orders going out. First thing going out is a magazine. This is a history magazine, 100 Greatest Mysteries. This is over on the shelf where we keep our free magazines. This should be it right here. Take this out a little bit. So it's this one right here. Pick this up thrift store. I get them for free. This sold for $5.91, and the buyer is paying $6.80 in shipping. Last item we have going out today is a set of 4 vintage 1995 Kellogg cereal bowls. Should be these right here. I'm into these for $2. There's 4, and there's 4 different ones. Picked up 3 sets of these, but all 3 sets are different. So what I'll do, since first set sold, I'll go ahead and take photos and just do a sell similar and replace all the photos. So I'm into this for $2. These 4 bowls sold for $15.26, and the buyer is paying $8.60 in shipping. Today we've got 10 orders going out, so let's go ahead and get started. And by the way, going out for about $260. First thing we have going out is some more vintage sheets. These are vintage pennies, 100% white cotton, Pinnacle full double flat sheet. And I also put in their 81 by 108. These are in E2. So that should be right over here. Not those ones. I'm pretty sure it's not these ones. I'm wondering if I sent out the wrong sheets. All right, might have sent out the wrong sheets on a previous order. I'll have to double check that. So let's go ahead and move on. Next thing is we have a vintage Fritz and Floyd snowman with bird glass ornament. And in the title I put hand blown original box. That's going to be over here in our Christmas stuff. And look at, there's the sheets. I haven't put them away. So hadn't quite got these into inventory. So into these for $3. This sold for $19.95, and the buyer is paying $13.60 in shipping. Okay, and our Christmas one, we haven't labeled it yet, but it's this one right here. Find it without too much digging. Let's take this guy out. See the picture again. It's this guy right over here. So, picked this up at a local thrift store here in town. I'm into it for $2.50. This sold for $18.66, and the buyer is paying $5.85 in shipping. Okay, next thing we have going out, this is a vintage Pfeiffergraph Christmas Heritage Tea for one. And I put with original box. That's going to be over on shelf 8. I think it's this guy right here. Christmas tree on it. That's the only box I see. Let's double check the listing. Okay, and that's the teapot with candy canes. Don't think that's it. No, that's not it. Yeah. That's definitely not it. Okay, this is shelf 8. Maybe it's on this shelf here, but I'm not seeing a box. Let's go around to the other side. Okay, Houston, we may have a problem.
Houston? Houston, do you copy?
Go ahead, Frida.
Houston, you have a problem.
Let's go check one more shelves for hard goods. There it is right there. Okay, let's move some of this stuff out of the way. So, picked this up at one of the local thrift stores here when they were running their, can't remember if it was 50% or 75% off. Into this for $1/4. This sold for $13.56, and the buyer is paying $13.60 in shipping, so they're paying more for shipping than they did for the purchase of the item. Okay, moving on to the next thing. Hopefully this one doesn't give us some problems. Okay, this is a vintage Bounty 500 brand 3 fine pack men's white handkerchiefs, embroidered D, and I did put new. This is in bin P, so that is going to be back over here. I believe it's these ones right here. So pick these up off that huge high bid haul. The one I'm into for $600. We're well into the profit. So I'd say cost of goods into this maybe 10 cents, $1/4 at most. This sold for $14.41, and the buyer is paying $5.35 in shipping. Okay, we have a Nintendo DS Game Boy Advance Switch and Carry soft zip-up game storage case. This is in L3, so we're going to come back way over here. I believe it's this guy right here. Yes. So, picked this up at one of the local thrift stores here in town. Into it for 50 cents. This sold for $20.95, and the buyer is paying $5.25 in shipping. And seeing how we're right here, we have a Leapfrog Leap Pad Leap Leap and the Lost Dinosaurs. Picked these up when probably 2, maybe 3 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago when I was up in Nevada visiting family and went to a garage sale, and they had a box of Leapfrog stuff. So they were just going to give it to me, but I didn't feel right about that. So they said, how about $5? And I did. I picked up the whole box. These, I had quite a few of these, and they were brand new sealed. So you can see I've got all of these right here. So again, the whole box I paid $5 for, and we've since made profit on that. This sold for $7.61, and the buyer is paying $6.75 in shipping. Okay, we're back here again in L3. This is a Kodak VR35 K40 extender, probably saying that wrong, lens, 35mm, film camera tested and working. So let's see if we can find it here. I believe it's this guy right here. So when we go inside, we'll double check that. Picked this up at one of the local thrift stores. I'm into this for 25 cents. This sold for $16.95, and the buyer is paying $8.70 in shipping. Let's go and open this up, and I'll show you what it looks like. So it's this right here. Didn't go for much, but I'm not into it for that much. Next thing, seems like we're staying right here. Now we're going into K3. This is a Star Wars Darth Vader Wilton cake pan. Picked this up at thrift store. I'm into it for $2. And it's this guy right down here. Just get some of the stuff out of the way. So, into this for $2. This sold for $24.95, and the buyer is paying $13.60 in shipping. Okay, got 2 more orders going out. Next thing is a set of 2 Magic Tracks RC switch gate replacement. This is in T2. I ended up parting it apart. It had so many things in there, and the whole entire box I paid $2 for. So T2 is right here, and I can see them right there on top. And I actually have 4 in here, so we got to take 2 out. So it's these guys right here. Had 4 of them. I decided to make them, lot them into 2s. So I have the multi-quantity on this. They sold for $15.26. And the buyer is paying $5.35 in shipping. Last thing we have going out, we got some clothing going out. I haven't sold clothing in a while. This is a Reebok t-shirt, men's 2XL, short sleeve gray. I also put crew neck, regular fit, 100% polyester. This is in K2. So let's go over here. Get to it easier over here. We'll just take this guy out. And let's see, did I have a custom SKU on that? Yes, 1032. So that should make it a lot easier to find. And there we are, 1032. Picked this up at one of the local thrift stores. It's my primary one. It's like my bread and butter. Paid 25 cents for this. This sold for $11.01, and the buyer is paying $5.95 in shipping. Before we get started, had another sale come in, so I'm going to run back into the eBay store, pull that item, and we'll talk about it in here. Okay, so the order that went out, let's see here. This is kind of facing the wrong way. Are these mini brats. Now, paid $2 each for these, so I lotted 3 of them together, so cost of goods is $6. Not a big profit item, but it was a multi-quantity, and it looked like the sell-through rate was pretty good, but this is the first ones that I've sold. So we'll have to see over time if it was a mistake or not. So 3 of these sold for $18.66, and the buyer is paying $8.45 in shipping. I just want to say thank you to everybody that made it this far into the video. Really appreciate it a lot. Hope this gives you a good idea while you're out there sourcing for stuff, some of the stuff that you can pick up. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Really helps the channel. Also too, if you're not currently subscribed, consider subscribing down below and hit that bell notification. You'll be notified the next time I do a video. I also wanted to say, while I'm up here, I am going to some garage sales and thrift stores. If you want to catch that content, go over to Ford Pinto Picker. That's where I put all my sourcing videos out over onto that channel. So I hope to see you there. I'll also go ahead and put a link right here for it. So in closing the video, just want to say, keep picking.